In this lecture, you're going to learn how to remove spam traffic from your Google Analytics reports. This is a problem that's really become bigger and bigger for website owners in the last number of years. And I'm recording this lecture prompted by Shane Rasnack. He has this exact same problem, and I think if we look at this example, you can see exactly why this caused problems and why you should really exclude this traffic. And so he says, he's going through his analytics, notices that when he looks at his acquisition sources, he can see that referrals are the top traffic category, which you might think, great, people are promoting my website and sending their visitors back. But when he drills down, 95% of the traffic is coming from sites like freetraffic.xyz, freesocialbuttons.xyz. This is making it difficult for us to get a sense of what his top channels, landing pages, content pages are. So this is exactly the problem that these spammy traffic sources cause. And he says, how can we get rid of this junk data? So you might be asking, why are these particular domains even appearing in his Google Analytics reports? Why would they be sending him traffic? What is the advantage of that for them? Why are they even doing it and causing you kind of all this trouble? Well, if you take the domain name, you can paste it into Google to see where the site is. So that points back to this site, sharebutton.to. Let's have a look at the other one, freesocialbuttons.xyz. Looks like a different domain, but lo and behold, it points back to this same sharebutton.to. So what is this? Well, this is a social sharing piece of code, essentially, that you could put on your site and you get these social sharing buttons. Seems innocent enough. That's a pretty handy feature. Lots of people offer buttons like that. So I don't know exactly how this spam thing works, but my guess is if you see it in your Google Analytics reports, you may be likely to visit the sites and you think, hey, they're getting lots of people traffic. Maybe if I install this, I can get even more traffic. But probably they're using it as a way to just draw your attention to this tool. You install it. This probably contains some, malicious kind of code. You become then a host for driving this spam network on even further. So why do they do it? I don't know behind the scenes, but obviously it's to grow their spam network. So under no circumstances should you install these share buttons. Be very careful and suspicious of links like this. So the question then is, how do you get rid of these? So what you want to do is set up a filter. Now this is a very similar process to when we set up a filter before to exclude internal traffic. So excluding your own employees or yourself from your Google Analytics report, so you're not skewing the data. So you can just come across to admin. You want to set up a filter, and we're going to add a new filter. And essentially we're going to follow the instructions that Google has laid out for us here. I'll walk you through them, and then I'll add the link to this in the resources section of this lecture, so you can watch me do it and then you can go back and follow it step by step. So essentially you want to create a filter name. So I'm going to call this exclude referral spam traffic. We're going to have this as a custom filter. I'm going to change this to campaign source. Now I want to put in the URL of the site that I want to exclude. So for Shane, what he should put in is freetraffic.xyz, and he can also add this one in as well. I don't get traffic from those sites, so I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to actually set up the filter, but I want to show you how I could exclude traffic from any source. So let me just see. So this is a site that actually sends me normal traffic. Now, why I really want to show you it from a traffic source that I actually get traffic from. So when I click review the filter, you can see exactly how many, before the filter applied, after the filter applied. So that's why I'm doing it with a traffic source that I actually get traffic for, because I wanted to show you there the filter verification. Now, if you want to add more than one URL, you can see what they tell you to do here is put in this pipe symbol. If you don't know where to get that on your keyboard, you can just actually copy that and paste it in. So you have to paste it right beside, and then I'm going to add in another URL traffic source where I get traffic from, and I'm going to just verify this again to see it, so I can see the traffic there, and then you just press save to set it up. I'm not going to set that up because those are actually legitimate traffic sources for me, but that's really how you do it. Now, if it's not XYZ, what you can do is come back in. I'm going to discard those changes. You can come into your referrals report, and this is where you really want to check and identify, like Shane did, if you have referral spam traffic. So what you're really looking at, I would extend this to 100 sites, and what you're really looking for is bounce rates that are 100% and that have a 0 time on site. That's how you're going to identify this spammy traffic. So here's one, ucrazy.ru. This seems like pretty spammy traffic. I'm getting 100% bounce rate and 0 time on site. As we move down, here's another one, funny reps. 100% bounce rates, no time on site. So for me, this is quite a small percentage of my overall traffic. You can see here that that's 0.23%. So it's probably not even worth me setting up a filter for that. It's not going to really affect my data. And actually, if I did set up a data, I get a warning saying, it's too small a data set. It doesn't affect anything. So this is how you identify if you have spammy traffic. You want to look for 100% bounce rates and 0 time on site. And then if it's significant, you can set up the filters as I showed you. And I'll include the link to this document in the resources section of the course, so you can follow it step by step. You don't need to rewatch this video. So Shane, I hope that was helpful. Anybody else, you can maybe check your own traffic sources and set up this filter if you need. What you should also be aware of is that this filter doesn't apply retrospectively, so you can't see your data with all this stuff filtered out. This will only be applied and then you'll see clean data going forward. Unfortunately, that's just the way Google Analytics is set up. So in the meantime, what you can do is, if you want to get a better sense of your traffic sources, you can you'll just have to kind of discount it and look at, say, if this is a spammy site, you'll just have to look at the other stuff to work out the traffic sources. So I hope that was helpful. And of course, if you have any more questions, just post them here. I'll be happy to record a video response, and I think it's helpful for other students as well. Okay.